Good morning, everybody. I just had to share the news that just in time for sharing and for her to hate me all over again, I think Rosie has forgiven me, and she let me pet her this morning. Yes, she did. Yes, we had some good rump scratchies. We did. And I got to stroke her little cheeks a tiny bit. Yes, just in time for Friday, when all heck will break loose, and you'll be terrified again. But we got to get all that wool off, sweetheart. Yes, we do. Cupcake is never... Oh, goodness, you're awful close. Is that just because Cupcake made you move? Oh, my goodness. Oh, dear. Yes, I'm sitting on the ground, and oh, sweet Rosie. She is letting me pet her. Well, she was. You just were chewing on my buttons. Why you do that? Because I'm crazy baby toddler sheep. Even though I'm 4 years old. Oh, my goodness. Oh, drop the phone. Okay, there we go. Okay, Rosie's done, but I did get to pet her. And now this big monster needs some lovin'. Don't chew on my coat. Oh, you're such a sweetie. You are. Yes. So if any of y'all are praying folks, it would be fantastic if you would pray that we don't get the rain that they're forecasting this week. Because imagine all of this wool soaking wet and poor Martin trying to shear it off. Yeah. So they're calling for rain on Wednesday and now also on Thursday with a 10% chance Friday morning, and Friday is when we're shearing, Friday morning. So I will probably lock them in. I was going to lock them in Thursday night into their barns anyway because it'll make Friday morning easier to deal with. But I may lock them in for longer on Thursday just to make sure it all gets a chance to dry out. Yes. This is where I start having serious barn envy of people who have, like, nice big barns with plenty of room for the sheep to move around in and get comfy instead of tiny little spaces that they try to batter their way out of. She was sniffing inside my sleeve. But I'm not going to be envious. I'm going to be grateful for what I have and just hope and pray that it doesn't rain, even though we need the rain. Just not this week. Yes. I hope you can smell. I hope you can, excuse me, hear her sniffing. She is the most in your face. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm there. I kissed your nose. Is that better? This kind of maybe. She is right here. She wants me to rub her face. Give her little smooches on the nose. Yes, she does. Oh my goodness sakes. Oh, look at that pretty chin. Look at the pretty chin. Yes. Oh my gosh. You're a goof. Mwah. The other thing I was going to mention, and I'll probably I'll put it on maybe on the website. I'll definitely mention it on Instagram, Facebook, and in the Ravelry group. But what I think I'm going to do this spring, just to kind of save some hassle and save some money on processing the fleeces, Radagast's, Rohan's, and Rosie's fleeces, I think I'm going to sell them raw this spring. Spring Icelandic fleeces, especially let's see. Typically, spring Icelandic fleeces are not as nice as fall fleeces. The reason for that is primarily to do with all the hay, because they eat hay all winter long. So and they're inside. Sometimes these guys don't sleep inside unless it's really, really bad. But a lot of times they're sleeping inside on the bedding, the hay or straw bedding. And so it's just, there's more vegetable matter. There's more VM in the spring fleeces. The other kind of weird thing that happens, at least with mine, is that, let's see, not just mine, but Icelandics will typically rue, which means they start kind of shedding. It's like a wool break, and they start shedding their wool. And I think I showed that in a previous video with Rohan, where you can see the top of her back. It's just like strips. It's like a strip down her back that's peeling off. And that's an Icelandic thing, and it's totally normal. This year, though, interestingly enough, Radagast and Rosie didn't rue at all. Well, Radagast did around his head, like the top of his neck, but not like he has in the past. And Rosie didn't at all. I think if I left them, and didn't shear them quick in the next few weeks, they would probably start doing that. But I'm occasionally having to kiss Cupcake on the nose in case you hear smooching noises. Anyway, this year it's only Rohan who is ruing right now. And as you have seen in previous videos, I mean, the length on these guys is still fantastic. If I were to have it processed, though, what I found last year is that another thing that happens with the spring fleeces with the Icelandics is they get dandruffy. And I know that some people are going to hear the word dandruff and think sheep fleece and think, oh my gosh, that's scurf. And scurf is a condition caused by little mites or lice. I can't remember now if it's mites or lice, but it's a little tiny, tiny bug that gets into the sheep's wool and causes these big, nasty, greasy pieces of dandruff, but it's big dandruff. And I'm seriously having to smooch this sheep right here. Mwah. But in looking at Rohan's wool, because I've been peeling it, she loves having it peeled off there where it's ruining, where it's broken or breaking. There are no mites or lice, sheep lice, and you can see them. I mean, I have looked very, very carefully and checked all through it, and where there's dandruffy patches, there are no bugs. So I just want to assure you, hi, buddy. Oh, yes, you're just handsome. You are a handsome man. Yes, you are. Cupcake's pushing on my arm because I'm not paying attention to her. So now I'm stroking her ear while hoping he doesn't run me over. What are you doing? Oh my goodness. I hope they don't kill me and trample my dead body. I guess this might be my last will and testament. Oh my goodness. This is what happens when you sit on the ground with a big sheep. Stop that. No. That's a no. You know what no means. Yes, and I know you're handsome. Now move. There we go. Okay, Cupcake, I love you. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die out here. Okay. Anyway, please rest assured that if there is some dandruff on these guys' fleeces, and I haven't seen any, when I look down in Radagast's, I'm not seeing any dandruff at all. And of course, Rosie hasn't totally forgiven me and hasn't let me really examine her fleece very well. Yes, but we will see it later, won't we? Oh gosh, she let me take that piece of hay off her face. That was nice. Oh my gosh, I get so sidetracked. I can't even imagine why. I'm basically doing crunches right now, trying to get Cupcake in the frame. Oy. So, mwah, mwah, mwah. There we go. You're kissed. So that is why I don't want to really. I was going to process their spring fleeces, have Fibers First turn it into bumps. It would work as roving, but it's an extra cost, and there's no point to it if there's dandruff in it, because I don't like selling dandruffy roving. Rosie is rubbing on my back, on my hood. Oh my goodness. Yes, I love you. Oh dear, he's back. So I could have them just turn it into the big bumps, and I would be able to spin it or use it for felting soaps. And that's the only reason I'm kind of thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this, because it's fun to have the felted soaps from these goobers. Yes, from Mr. Gooberman right here in my face. And now Cupcakes over here. Oh my gosh. Eating my coat. What are you doing? Why? Because I'm a baby and you're not kissing me. I will kiss you too. Yes, I will. It is fun, and I will probably do that next year. However, this year I just would like. I've got. Oh boy, this is going to be a long video. I haven't been spinning or knitting or crocheting or doing anything because I have such bad tendonitis in my left arm, and it's causing problems in my wrist. So I'm trying to rest, let it rest. And part of that includes felting soaps. Unfortunately, any motion with my left wrist, any kind of circular motion, it's weird too because there are things I can do with it, and there are things I just can't. So my thought is this spring, long story short, too late, I would just sell these 3 babies spring fleeces. The 3 babies, the great big ginormous babies. Except Rosie's still tiny. Yes, you are. And they would be perfect if you are looking for an opportunity to work with a raw fleece. Yes, there might be some dandruff in there, but again, it's not scurf. It's a flaky skin thing that happens to them in the wintertime. And so don't be afraid of that. If I thought for a minute that I had bugs and it was really truly scurf, there's no way. I would just use it for mulch and call it a day. But these are still very, very nice fleeces. They just have, as you can see, Rosie's demonstrating the fact that there will be vegetable matter in these fleeces. But the length on them is absolutely spectacular. They're still growing, oh gosh, 6 inches, probably. 6 to 7 inches. Radagast probably has locks on him that are closer to 7 inches long. So if you're looking for an opportunity to work with a raw fleece, but you don't want to put a ton of money into it, this is a great opportunity. It will have a little bit of dandruff. Rohan might have a lot of dandruff for some reason. Oh, and this was interesting too. I found it was a discussion board. People were asking about scurf versus dandruff. And there was a lady who raises Icelandics, and she said every spring her Icelandics that rue, and not all of them rue, but the ones that do have dandruff, and the ones that don't rue don't have dandruff. So it's just a funny thing having to do with that wool break, and I think that's what's going on with mine as well. So what I will do is after shearing, I will lay out his magnificent fleece and Rohan's and Rosie's. Hi, Rosie Noodles. Hello, sweetheart. And I'll take some pictures, and if there is dandruff, I'll try to get some pictures of that. But spring Icelandic fleeces I sell for $5 a pound plus shipping. With the raw fleeces, when I'm shipping those, I just cannot afford to cover shipping costs myself like I do with the other products. So their fleeces will range anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds. So if you want to be thinking about that and budgeting for that, as soon as my plan is that as soon as shearing is done on Friday, the 24th, I'm going to just get them out of their bags and lay them out on the table out here and take some pictures and get them ready to sell. Sorry, this really was going to be a pretty quick video, but yeah, I had distractions. And now this is right behind me sniffing my hair. Yes, you big man, you big woolly man. He's being a pretty good boy again. He still wants to scratch his head on me, but when I rebuke him sharply with a firm no, he backs off. So that's all I ask for. And I know he loves me. He's a good boy. So that's the plan. Sam and Cupcake, their fleeces will be processed at Fibers First into roving. So hopefully by maybe the end of the... Are you being bad after I just said you weren't? I'm going to walk away now before she yells at me. Big handsome butt. Yes, it is. So I should have roving for Sam and Cupcake back like later this summer. And same thing with Garnets. Oh, he's going to lay down. Oh, he's a big boy. After 5 years, I still love watching them lay down. It's so awkward and adorable. And yesterday, oh my gosh, yesterday he was getting sleepy, and I happened to look out at the window at the right moment, and he had stretched all four of his legs straight out and kind of arched his head up in the air to stretch his neck, and then he just laid down. Just did total dead sheep pose and went to sleep. He was just so darn precious. Anyway, okay. Garnet's spring fleece will be turned into roving. And again, so Garnet, Sam, and Cupcake, I should have roving from them by the end of the summer, toward the end of the summer. Black Velvet and Panda Bears, I'm keeping from here on out. I do, yeah, I think I am. I don't know, that may change. I still have the bumps from Black Velvets that are mine to keep. I was using those for felting soaps, but I can also hang on to them for spinning for myself later on. Yeah, I haven't totally decided about Black Velvet. Panda Bears, obviously, I'm keeping all of hers, so yes, I am Miss Bear. And I can't wait to see what hers looks like when it's off of her. So, this was a longer video than I anticipated. I just wanted to give you a heads up about Rosie, Radagast's, and Rohan's fleeces, that they will be for sale, and I will post those pretty much everywhere and let you know when they are up. If I guess if someone's really super interested in one, I don't know if I should. No, I don't think I'm going to take reservations in advance. I think what I'll do is just take the pictures and post them on the website and give you all a heads up when they are ready for sale. And if you have questions in the meantime, please feel free to ask me. You can send me a DM on Instagram. You can send me a message on Facebook from the Blaine Fleece and Fiber page. Or you can get onto the website and click the Contact Us button and send me an email that way. And I'll be happy to answer any questions. You don't need to lay down in that. That is not for eating or sleeping on. Don't you dare lay down on that. I'm just smelling it. I don't know if you can see from here, but her wool is just gorgeous. And I love how different hers is from her brother's, from their half-sister Rohan's. It's just cool. That's one thing I really like about the Icelandics, is just how different, the variety of colors and the variety of feel, to the fleeces. They're just really, really very special critters. Don't you lay in that, Rosie. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for listening to all of this. And again, send me your questions if you've got any. And I hope that you are all staying home if you can, and staying safe and staying healthy. Just take care of yourselves and each other. Okay, bye-bye.